Okay, so we are live. Uh, Thank you very much, Hernan, and our new friend here, Chris Alexander. So we're gonna start with you, Chris. If you wanna present yourself, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having me, Ariel. My name is Chris Alexander. I'm a composer and classical guitarist from New York. I'm mostly composing now, but I've got a concert coming up in around Christmas time. So right now I'm working on Bach's Chaconne in D minor. That'll be probably the biggest project that I'm working on now. I'm also working on Rafaga by Tarina. So that'll be a part of the concert too. Other than that, I'm mostly composing, writing 3 notes a day, and then scribbling out two is basically my process, but that's pretty much it.
Well, so you're a professional. I have to say I am really honored having you both here because you are both already very good, very well established guitarists. Like I am not a professional yet. I'm trying. See, I'm just getting started. I'm practicing. I haven't had the same path as usually people who play classical guitar. They start early. They go to the conservatory. I didn't have that opportunity. Did you graduated from a conservatory too?
No, I didn't graduate from conservatory. I spent most of my time studying at Mannes in New York City, and I ended up running out of money and I got injured. It's close to 20 years ago that I initially got injured playing guitar. But um, aside from that, yeah, I mostly studied at Mannes and I went to SUNY Purchase and I studied with Fred Hand, Michael Newman, and Jorge Caballero. So that's the three main guitarists that I've studied with.
But I don't understand the difference. So those are not conservatories. I'm talking about like a school of music. No, is are they?
Yeah, Mannes is a conservatory, and then
Oh,
the Purchase School of Music. It's not exactly a conservatory. They're part of the New York system, where they have you take general ed type of classes, and that has to be like entwined with your musical
oh, so
education.
so
But Mannes
basically,
is not.
so basically, the difference between a conservatory and a school of music is like you have other things that are not related with music that you also have to.
Pretty much. I wouldn't even know how to particularly define conservatory because Curtis would call itself a school of music, but it's definitely a conservatory because they focus solely on music, right?
Oh, okay.
I would say it's just like a branch, right? So if SUNY Purchase is the main college where you can study everything, the Purchase School of Music is the conservatory, if that makes sense.
Sounds good. And what happened with your? So you're saying you had to stop for a while because of an injury, getting ready for a competition. So I imagine, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to at least go to a competition next year. So what was the excess that caused the injury for you? What do you think was the reason? And what were you doing that was so extreme to cause that?
That's a good question. Everything, really. I was getting ready for the 2010 GFA, and I was mostly practicing all highly technical repertoire and doing a lot of things without breathing correctly. That's what I've come down. My analysis of it is that I wasn't breathing correctly to begin with, and there was so much tension being built from not breathing correctly that it was causing me to be completely misaligned. So what ended up actually happening was one of my hips ended up going higher than the other. I got it x-rayed because of this, right?
Oh, really?
So yeah, the hip was actually misplaced and was pinching a nerve there. So that was what really did me in. And then I ended up getting a regular job in New York City while still keeping on recovering and trying to figure out how to get into it. And then I would have random things go wrong, like carpal tunnel in my left hand or in my right hand. It was just like, a broken machine that kept needing to be refurbished. So what I've come to the conclusion of is breathing is the most important, even above posture, above everything. Being able to breathe correctly so you're not breathing up here and creating so much tension. Because you might notice sometimes, I'm not saying that you do this when you play, but you may notice internally you might start to feel like, why does my chest hurt? Or why do I feel like I'm out of breath up here? It's because your neck is struggling to get breath to your to your well, to your brain, to get oxygen to your brain. That's really a huge problem. So the way that I've countered it, and I've been able to actually perform more and actually do more concerts, is I've started studying deep breathing exercises and breathing from the diaphragm. That's been the biggest change.
So you had to develop a special kind of breathing to overcome the challenge. I mean, I don't know anything about it, so you can maybe teach me a little bit because yeah, that's something that my professor Rene Izquierdo he has he has told me you're not breathing. It's
Yeah,
like yeah, we forget to breathe when we're playing. It's crazy because this is so hard and we're so focused on it and we run out of energy. And he's telling me you're not breathing. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Sometimes I'm playing and I have to take a deep breath because I realize I'm not. It's something crazy how hard the guitar is that we forget about breathing. Something that we just do automatically. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. I found that the actually the best way to do it, and I found it accidentally, is to sing. Join a choir and learn solfege. Practice solfege, do warm-ups and whatnot, because singers naturally have to implement breathing, well, with their instrument, obviously. So when you do that, you have to learn how to breathe efficiently. And I noticed a vast difference when I started really focusing on singing. That was the biggest game changer.
Well, that makes sense. Like if you learn how to play the trumpet or something like that, like you would have to think about it, like, and maybe that would improve your phrasing, right? Because you finish a phrase,
Yes.
you have to take a break, obligatory. I mean, if you're playing a
Yeah.
wind instrument, so that's interesting. By the way, if you're here live, let us know if the audio is good, if you can hear me well, if you can hear Chris and Hernan. So how about you, Hernan? How are you doing? You sent me a video. You're killing it, man. You're ripping off those Chinese scales. Like, how are you doing?
Hi, hi. Yeah, well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. And I'm happy to share time with you, with both of you, some of the things that I've been working on. So, yeah, during the last 2 days, I have been exploring the Chinese scale, like different ways of playing it on the guitar, especially with two finger patterns and also different fingerings using two and three finger patterns. And also, I have been exploring a little bit the Neapolitan scale because I saw yesterday your live stream and I was curious about it. And it also for me it was like very interesting because at the beginning I didn't get it, but then after analyzing the scale and um, getting the harmony, the triads and the chords that you can form from the scale, then I could then I could get the sound and the possible chord progressions that you can use with the scale, and it's very interesting. That
And
scale is very
let
yeah.
me ask you: did you utilize what you know from the your training from
Yeah,
your study, or did you
yeah.
use your intuition?
No, no, for sure. I did use my knowledge
Okay.
from what I know about music theory, and so that's the advantage of having those that kind of things in
Well,
your mind because you can solve a lot of you can save a lot of time,
yes.
trying to get to the chords. So uh,
Well, I'm looking
it
forward
yeah,
to you teaching me that because I had no idea. What I did was I used the scale. I tried to find a way to play it, and then I tried to figure out the chords by ear and all of that
yeah,
because I don't know anything about theory
yeah,
of any kind. So you can teach me a little bit maybe then.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, if in the chat if you have any questions, let us know. Anything you want to comment, especially if you can hear us well. Now, I also want to say, Hernan, thank you very much. Hernan is coordinating for us a master class on his school. That's gonna happen at the end of next month. and yeah, I am looking forward to it. Or not? Can you tell us a little bit more about that so people know what to expect?
Yeah, yeah. Well, the idea is that you are gonna be our guest to give a class to some of my students at the university that I teach. I teach here in Mexico, in the state of Chiapas, which is the state that is in the border between Mexico and Guatemala. And I live in the capital of Chiapas, which is Tuxtla Gutierrez. And the name of the university is University of Sciences and Arts of Chiapas. And I teach at the Faculty of Music. And so, yeah, the idea is that we are gonna select students from all the three levels, from the pre-college, the college, and also one student doing master's degree. And we are very excited about it, and also looking forward from this experience, because some of these students are playing very well, and I have been sharing some of the concepts that that you proposed, and they are getting a lot of results from, for example, the tone consistent fingerings, and also the ideas of playing fast scales, and how to do the ascending scale, how to do the descending scales, and things like that. So yeah, that it's going to be on September 25th. Yeah.
Well, that's a tremendous honor for me. I really, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope I can make it help to make a difference. So thank you very much for that opportunity, Hernan. I cannot wait. So now, Chris, how about you, man? You've been checking out the channel and supporting. I really appreciate you. You're a professional too, like Hernan already. You're preparing for concerts and all of that. What have what have you see what has resonated with you from the message that I have shared on the channel and the videos? I'm interested to know, because you are already a professional player too. I am not, like, I'm trying to get to that point where I'm giving concerts and I going to competitions and all of that. You've been through that already, so what has resonated with you? um,
Well, you'll definitely get there for being a professional. And there, one of the reasons that I'm following your channel so closely and what you're doing is because you're hitting on a point that has been ignored for over, I think, 40 years now in guitar pedagogy, which is this idea that we should be playing completely relaxed and easy and without any kind of stress, and that the idea of practicing with like a lot of power or with a lot of speed and focusing on that is bad. And because I'm 40 years old now, I'm an old man at this point. I went through that period, and what I found was that that approach is exactly what gets you hurt. It's the exact opposite of what you want to do, because what happens is your fingers are only going to do and your hands are only going to do what you tell them to do, no matter what. Whether you're nervous, whether you're relaxed, whether you're tense, they're still going to react. Even when you encounter things like stage anxiety or things like that, your fingers will still do what you've been training them to do. If you train them to be weak and always be relaxed, how are you going to perform under stress? It's not going to happen. So your idea of the tone corrected fingerings, of playing with power and practicing in a certain way, I think is extremely important, and it needs to be spread more as a way to elevate not only guitar technique but the way that the guitar is taught.
Well, it's very interesting. And to that idea, I have been thinking recently that I have to start practicing with emotions, because I realize when I'm practicing without emotions, like I'm just focusing on the fingers, I don't get tired, or I don't get as tired. But as soon as I am like, okay, now I'm gonna be musical, and I move, and so I am getting this stress that and not anxiety. I'm getting that that kind of energy that's different when you get emotional. You get into it. Basically, you get into the music. I realize I get a lot more tired. So
Mhm.
in my experience, the way you get less tired, it's like in my experience, the way you develop endurance at anything is by doing it. So if I am never, or for the most part of my practice, I am never musical in that, I'm just repeating the passage intellectually and thinking about the fingers. But when I am actually wanting to perform, it's a completely different thing that I never practice, that I never do. So I was thinking I have to also take the same approach and try to raise my endurance of being musical. It's like I want to get emotional, but I cannot let that emotion to get me tired, because when I get tired, then everything starts falling apart and I cannot play anything really. And
Mhm.
I have experienced that before. I go to play one piece, and after that I am done. Like I could not play a whole concert that day. I'm like, thank you. I only had to play one thing because I'm done after this. Especially when I play like a tremolo, because you have this continuous playing and then you get in the emotion. Uh, so yeah, I think that's exactly what you're talking about. That I have to also apply, um, and I think that's the beauty of these ideas, that really you can apply them for anything and everything really. So I really appreciate you saying that, and again I'm honored to have you both here. So what do you wanna what would you like to start with? I see you're playing Chaconne. You're the other day on the stream. You actually taught me some of the helped me to figure out some of the fingerings in Chaconne. You're saying you have that coming up next as one of the biggest. I mean, I don't know of anything that could be bigger than Chaconne. So that's definitely a big challenge. So what would you like to start with, Chris?
Whatever you want to do, Chaconne is fine. It's funny because I actually went back and looked at some of the fingerings I recommended to you, and I changed them because I realized this might not really work so well, but this might work better. Um, I do want to go back to something you said about playing with emotion because I think it's very important. You're always going to, when you're performing, you're going to default back to what your nature is. Just as a person, if you're an emotional person or if you're a less emotional person, your playing will reflect that automatically. So there's an idea in teaching of kind of overcorrecting what you don't do well so that when you get on stage, you don't even think about it. You just forget about everything that you've been practicing and you just go up and play and don't worry about it. So the idea of playing with emotion, it is important. But one thing that you've done exceedingly well is you found a way to make things that might not sound so good the way that they're written on the paper sound good on guitar. So you understand the guitar very well. So I think naturally worrying about playing with emotion won't be so much of a problem for you. It's an important thing to consider, but I don't think it'll be a problem for you on stage because naturally you already know what sounds good on the guitar, right? So the fingerings you develop will exert that. So that's pretty much all I've got for that. But if you want to do something with Chaconne, if there's a part that we can look at, that would be cool. I can pull it up on my computer.
Sounds good. Well, I mean, Chaconne, I still don't have it memorized. I'm working on it. You know, trying to, because I learned Chaconne many years ago, but uh, because I know better the technique now, I'm using different fingering, so I had to, redo everything. But I was able to play it many years ago with different fingerings, and it was working. With Chaconne is so long um, that you have to go over it again and again to get that memory, that muscle memory. Um, so Chaconne, I have seen different. It's very controversial, right? If you play Chaconne, everyone. I think that's one of the worst things to play in a competition. What do you think? Because everyone wants, uh, everyone has their own version, their notes that they want to play or not, or Bach in general, I think is very, very controversial. So what I did was I went through the violin version, the piano version. I listened to everyone out there, and I did, add some basses here and there because I mean the violin doesn't have the possibility sometimes to play basses at the same time as the melody. So I did add some things, um, but I'm happy with the notes that I am playing. But I know it's gonna be a little bit controversial if you play in a competition setting. What did you do with Chaconne? Did you just learn the Segovia version, the violin? You did your own arrangement. What did you do? Being a composer, and knowing and understanding better all of that.
Well, I mean, harmonically, Segovia's is the best, without question, that I've seen. There might be something better, but in terms of the way that he's arranged it, and I'm not talking about just like his fingerings, I'm talking about harmonically the way that he's added basses and the way that he wants things phrased. Um, so I use his as a template. I use the violin score. My Chaconne is a mess right now. I don't have it ready by any means whatsoever. But I think that sticking with his uh, transcription is a very good way to start and to see what actually makes sense. Because one, he was the first one to really do it successfully, and successful to the point that every major publication that was following classical music lauded him for it. So that's a very important thing to consider. And two, his fingerings actually will make sense. One thing I've noticed time and time again is when I change his fingerings, I'll often go back to them. And I would have saved so much time if I stayed with his fingerings. With that said, can there be other fingerings that are better? Sure, but that's also very player dependent as well. And there's also a lot of mistakes from the edition, which could be whoever's fault. I mean, I don't know, but you can easily see them and correct them. Um, there's a there's an idea that Segovia follows that is part of from SOAR, which is basically PIM. Figure it out with PIM first, and then worry about A. Like A should be on an island somewhere else, because if basically anything you can make sound good on guitar, you can do with, and that even is if you're instead of like PIA, you'll usually get a better result from PIM, right? So when I'm looking at the Chaconne, what I do is I'll break it into the variations. There's 64 variations, I think 64, I might be wrong. And then I'll pick a phrase and I'll start with the phrase. So if you there's a particular one you want to go over, you can choose one. I can pick one, whatever you want to do.
Now, I wanted to talk about a little bit about Segovia because
Sure.
our first encounter, when you dropped the first comment in the channel, was
Yes.
about Segovia, and I literally bashed Segovia. Oh, Segovia is terrible. The fingerings don't work. And you're like, no, why you say that? So we had a conversation about it, and I'm glad you didn't just okay. I don't like this guy. Just went away because I might be of course unfair with Segovia. Segovia was a very important figure for the classical guitar. There's no denying that. But how do you see Segovia, and how do you see the way Segovia is still being one of the pillars of the classical guitar teaching out there on the music schools and all of that? What's your take on
Well,
Segovia, basically?
my take. Oh yeah, and our first interaction, that's one of the reasons I like you is because that you have boldness, which I think we need a lot more guitarists that have boldness. If you meet a lot of guitarists in university, they can be a little bit meek, and having strong opinions is good. So I think that it also needs to be tempered by understanding what position Segovia was in. So my opinion of Segovia is yes, he was probably the most influential 20th century guitarist. I mean, I don't think that can really be disputed. And also, his teaching method and way of playing was to make the guitar sound as beautiful as possible. And we have to consider a few things when we talk about Segovia. One, he had no kind of reliable strings whatsoever. The high E on the guitars that he was playing originally before Augustine came in and made better strings was terrible. So whenever you look at his fingerings, you can see that he's often trying to avoid using it, except when he wants a very,
But why is that?
uh,
Because was a God string?
yeah, it could have been a gut string. It could have been when they were initially doing nylon strings, they were not reliable at all. Even up until, I'll say that when I was buying strings in the early 2000s, like 2004, they still weren't reliable.
But what do
Up
you mean by
until
reliable? That they break?
they fray, they don't keep intonation. Sometimes they'll send you two B's when you order a pack. Like it was all over the place. And it wasn't really until D'Addario came into play that's when things started really changing, and we had almost like, and I would say it's almost objective, where D'Addario makes the most consistent strings possible. So
Oh,
that's when
really?
things got good.
And why
Yeah.
some people say that the Dario strings are the worst? People are telling me, don't buy the Dario, those suck.
Are they sponsored by Savarez?
I don't
I'd
know,
ask
but
that first.
I bought the Dario because I got them for a deal, but I don't know. What do you think about that now? What do you think about strings? Which strings do you use and what do you think is
Yeah, well, for me, strings is something that I have been exploring from a long time, and there was a time where I just used nylon strings, and in that time, I remember that my favorite ones were Bach nylon strings. But right now it's different. Right now I just prefer carbon strings, and my top three would be, um, I think my top three would be number one, between Savarez and Noblock, because I like Savarez strings, but they tend to wear out very quick, and I don't like that. But the first week sounds amazing, and I love that. I use those strings for concerts, and but also Noblock are amazing strings for me. Uh, I didn't know those strings very recently, so before that, also Daddario was one of my favorites. But right now, Daddario is my, I don't know, my third, is in third place right now. They are really good strings. I mean, they're amazing strings. They are very, like Chris is saying, is they are very reliable, very comfortable to play. But right now, I'm just looking for loudness and a bright sound. And in those cases, I prefer Savarez and Noblock, because the Dario are are a little bit uh, darker.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely carbon. It just I put nylon strings because I'm trying all the Dario strings and it's just like it's like a different guitar. It's a guitar downgrade. How about you, Chris? What do you like? What do you use for strings?
Well, I agree with Renan about Knobloch. I think they make excellent strings. I just hate the way they label them. It drives me crazy. I wish that they had the tag at the end. I know why they do it, but anyway.
You hate what? I
Um,
didn't get that. What is that you don't
so
like?
Knobloch, the way they label their strings to
Oh,
see what string you're using, they just like paint the end of the B string, and I think
oh,
I don't know what they do with the bass strings. At least when you get them in the U.S. But for carbon strings, I like D'Addario, and they are a little bit plain, but they're super durable, which is what I care about most. So that when you're playing hard, they have great intonation and they last very long. Nylon strings, I think, and this may be a controversial take, but I think Augustine's Regal Reds with high action are the end game of tone. Because they sound excellent, but you have to break them in. It takes a long time to break them in. Um,
but what is
and
that? Carbon or nylon? What's that?
It's nylon. They have nylon. I think it's called the Augustine Regal. It's the red pack, the Regal red pack. You'll see sometimes the purple pack. Now, they sound excellent once you wear them in. The thing is, you have to be able to wear them in before you wear them out. Because oftentimes the treble strings, you'll get like a nick on the string or something like that, which I'm sure you've run into. And that can happen on the Augustines. So that I think they have the best tone, but it requires proper technique and it requires a higher action. For me, I'd rather just get a pack of D'Addario carbons because they just sound so good right out of the pack. They settle in quickly. And Augustine's Paragon strings are very good too. So anything with carbon,
Yeah,
I
that's
would
one
go
thing
for.
that I noticed with these nylon strings. They go out of tune for like a week. So it's carbon. You put them in immediately. You get the tuning, and it's not like you have to be tuning all the time. They are already more. They don't. It's not. It's like the nylon starts to expand
Yeah,
constantly.
yeah, especially with if you live in a place like I'm at in New York, where the climate it can go from super humid to super dry in a day. In like a few hours, you can basically go from winter to summer. It's like a revolving joke around here. We have two seasons, basically frigid cold and humid and hot, and it makes a huge difference. So when you have the carbon, you just don't have to worry about it.
So talking about Chaconne, how do you do the passage the this part?
I
Do
so
you
I've
use
changed this
slurs or you
fingering.
play every note?
I'm using slurs whenever I can. So that's a part that I was originally doing like, and I think, but that's not a good fingering because you have to travel too far.
Hmm.
I think Segovia's is like, but that doesn't work either because with carbon strings, the G is very prominent, right? So for, I guess the whole phrase would be like, and from there, and then you have the fast passage.
Could you move the camera a little bit so your right hand is, because that's
Oh,
your name is on the right hand, so I cannot see the right hand. Could you move the
oh,
camera to so you see so we see you from the uh from that part
like
now?
this?
Yeah, that would be better. So your name is
Okay,
out of the right hand. Yeah, that's better.
okay, how's that?
Yeah, that's better. So now,
Okay, that's better.
do you use the slurs for articulation or for the ease of playing the scale? What's the
For
reason
both.
to use the slurs?
And so that the tone blends correctly, which is the difficult part here. And the the slur will be if right now it's opening the G here, because that F, if you notice when you hit it with M, it's particularly bright. Now if you hit it with I, it's a little bit warmer, but M you've got more power. So you have the option to use that open G there.
Hmm.
Or you can do and I'll use that slur there. And the reason for that is the 2-to-1 slur here, especially on the D string, is one of the strongest sounding slurs that we have on the
Hmm.
guitar. So whenever I can use it, I'll use it. Of course, within the context that it works within the phrasing of the music, in which this case it does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen all kinds of fingering there. I saw the other day Joaquin Clerch playing this, and he was using scales with a figueta, like thumb and index scales up and down. How about you or not? You play that one too? I saw you practicing it. Do you play that? Do you play Chaconne too?
Yeah, I haven't studied it, but I haven't played it in a concert or recorded it. I have studied it a little bit, and but when I used to play it, I remember that I used uh, some just some legatos, and then the scale, and then I try to keep the pattern like legato, and then scale, legato, but I don't remember right now,
See, I
but
see what you're saying. I see what you're
keeping the
saying.
pattern, yeah,
Yeah, those are
keeping the pattern,
two different things.
yeah.
Um, so why do you think I've seen a lot of people playing in Bach and doing all slurs, like the whole thing. I mean, almost not playing notes with the right hand. Um, do you think is that because they are afraid of? sounding too strong for the style or something? Like if they do scales, they don't want that aesthetic of sounding like a Spanish music or something. Because I think on the classical guitar in general, I see a lot of players who just do like this kind of stuff. It's like it's trying to not sound flamenco, but then this sounds like an electric guitarist. See?
Yeah, I think that you're onto something there. That is definitely something that was taught, at least to me, at conservatory, where they were trying to actively stay away from the flamenco side and try and engage more of the, I guess you could call it classical side, where I think that both really mix well. Classical and flamenco playing mix extraordinarily well. It's just that you take what works and you leave what doesn't. So you can definitely do it with all right hand. I mean, my right hand isn't nearly as strong as yours, but I think it can also have to do with uh, the fact that they don't they might not just have the actual chops to do it, and not to denigrate any guitarist. It's just that a lot of the focus is on the left hand, so that could be a reason. I actually saw Elliot Fisk play it. He came here and played Chaconne, and he was doing a lot with a heavy right hand, and it sounded awesome. It was really good. Now he has a very unique approach where he basically bullies his guitar into submission, but it's awesome because he's able to get a very compelling effect. So I think that the frame that you want to look at it in, and this is just my opinion, is that is the way you're playing it compelling? If the answer is yes, then go for it. If you don't think it's compelling, then try to find a different way. So if the right hand's working, then yeah.
what do you mean? Like he was bullying the guitar? Like Elliot Fisk is the master of a lot of legends. Marco
Yeah.
Tamayo, Grisha, Goriachev. At some point, he was his teacher. So Elliot Fix is a beast. I saw him live, and he in a master class he was able to improvise a second guitar for people playing Bach, which is absolutely insane. Not like just playing the chords, like something with counterpoint, like on the
Yeah.
fly. This I couldn't believe it. When he did it with one, I'm like, yeah, he already knows that. But then he did that with everyone. Everyone is just you can just play a second guitar. But what do you mean that he was like bullying the guitar into it, like he was dominating it or some way? Like what do you mean by that?
What I mean by bullying the guitar is he doesn't let the guitar dictate how he's going to phrase things. So if he's going to buzz or if he's going to have any kind of noise or issue whatsoever, that's just a side effect. And it's very compelling. It's very effective because you get drawn into it. You start to forget that he has any kind of buzzings or what would be considered in traditional classical guitar playing to not be appropriate because his playing is so compelling. That's what I mean by the word bully.
Oh, I see. And why do you say that your right hand is not is not strong or something like that?
It's
What
inconsistent.
have you tried the fingerings and the scales that we've been working on? Because I remember Hernan. Um, I've seen his progression. He's playing like me. Like there's no difference. He sent me a video playing a Chinese scale. He's playing exactly like me. Like my hands are not faster than normal. Like I don't have a stronger hands that. I mean, I saw you play. I don't see any difference really. Have you tried the scale fingerings that we've been practicing or?
Yeah, I've tried that. Mine and they work. It's mine simply comes down to consistency because if I have a pinched nerve that's not acting right, my hand won't
Oh,
really do so well. So that's the consistency that I'm trying to get through. So that's the main reason.
so when you're playing right now, do you feel any kind of pain on your right hand or numbness? Like what do you mean? You're still suffering the injury from the past?
Yeah, mostly it's in my neck. But right now, yeah, there's a little bit of pain in like these fingers, but it's not anything structural. It's just, if I want to play something, it's a little bit impeding, but it's not terrible, right? So that's the only reason I would say like it's keeping me back. So once I'm able to solve that problem, that's when I'm going to start really focusing on the right hand endurance and strength, because the two can't really coincide so well. I have to take breaks from it at times.
I see. But the thing is, I practice a lot IM, but I never use it really. Because the top, I mean, I use it sometimes with 2 notes per string, but the fingerings that I use are I. So I either do this, the opposite, or when I have 4 notes per string, I use one IM and then one IA. So literally, I never just alternate again and again index middle finger, or try to avoid it. Not to avoid it, because I just find this to sound better. Index middle index ring. If I have 4 notes, I find this to sound a little bit better if I do index middle index middle. Index middle index middle sounds good. So that's the hardest fingering that I do. But the rest is really easy to do this fast. There's like there's no skill on it. There's no the skill is the synchronization, but there's no power that you have to have, like a special strong hand power or something like that, because this is very, see, it's fast because it's easy. It's not fast because it's something like a skill that you need to have, like a special anything. So really, when I started playing this, see, this is an easy thing to play fast. The hard thing is to repeat it enough so it's synchronized, so it works. So for me, in this passage with Chaconne, this is the fingerings that I'm using when I get here. So I get here with the rest stroke on my index, right? Can you see the hand well? Or maybe too small. I'll make it zoom in a little bit. I'll zoom in. Show you the fingers that I'm using for that passage, as you show me yours. So I'm gonna see. It's a little bit. Okay, so here I'm getting here with a rest stroke on the index, and then these things I'm doing it like a tremolo. So this is easy. So and then for these parts, those are the accentuated on the violin. I do. So it's. So this part is the one that I rest. So I start with a rest stroke here, and then I do, and then. So here, this is really easy. And then the scale, as usual, as the tone corrected fingerings. And then the trick that I use is this index to play these 2 notes. Now on the score, there's only 1 note, I think. Initially there's 2 notes, but then they put 1 note. But I just do 2 and 2 when I on the next one. So I do this with the index. So really, the hardest part here is this, which is a descending scale. So I start here with the middle finger, middle index, ring middle index, and then middle index. So ring index. So I don't think there's any really the development of the fingers to have strong hands to play that, because the fingering using 3 fingers, it actually feels like doing this. So it's harder the synchronization part, but not the part where you have to see. For example, if we talk about how can we play as fast as possible, repeat it, or like doing this super fast, then there is the raw, how fast can you move the fingers, or maybe use another muscle. But when you start using more fingers and you start doing this kind of stuff, it no longer feels like you need the raw power. It's like a workaround, basically. It's like an alternative to that.
Yeah, and there's a few things you can look at there because that will work. And definitely when you're able to use 3 fingers, if you're able to do it effectively like you are, that's going to produce not only a stronger sound, but you're going to be able to play faster. Um, I always look at things in the way like how I can sing. It's like dun 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 dun. So where are the beats happening? How should it be phrased and whatnot? And you have a lot of room in that phrase to really breathe. So when you're playing with the 3 fingers, which I think, what was it?
Yeah, that one.
A-M-I or
Yeah, but that
A-I-M?
one I do it that one I do a free stroke.
Free stroke.
So it is lighter because what I'm thinking is on the on
Okay.
the on the way the violin can go over those like a bow. They go with a bow and
Mhm.
the perm. So I'm trying to be lighter here, and then so I can. So then this feels more like. So then this feels more like that. So I'm doing light here, and then. So I wanna have that lightness here. That's what I'm looking for. Because I did play this on the violin, by the way. I borrowed a violin from a friend. And of course, I don't know how to play the violin, but I wanted to see how easy, how violinistic was some of these things. And I'm telling you, this part on the violin is a piece of cake. Even without knowing how to play the violin, when you use the bow and you do this kind of stuff, I mean, we already have the left hand from the guitar. It's so easy. The hard thing is, of course, have the control in the bow to get the volume and the articulation, all of that. So I don't have that, but I realize how violinistic these parts are. And that's why on the violin, everyone just plays this super fast, super easy. It sounds so light and so virtuoso. Yeah, so I don't. My point here is I don't think this is the same as playing the Paco scale 200 BPM with 2 fingers. See, that does require that Paco power, which I don't have. I'm trying to develop that. But this kind of stuff with the 3 fingers, I feel like this is like everyone can do it. It's a matter of coordinating. But this kind of stuff, when you start to doing this, it doesn't take any skill because really the fingers are not moving fast. That's the thing.
Something I would look at too is like what's preceding that actual run, right? So we're starting. I'm gonna look at the score. So you already have a powerful phrase that's preceding it, right? So that's something I would consider, and I'm not saying to change the fingering, but using your fingering, you kind of it kind of begets it not begets it begs for a more lyrical type of phrasing. So if you're going to be, it might actually sound better retro, like it might actually work out better a little bit slower rest stroke, or you could even play with time. And then you can do the pull off here if that was something you wanted to do. Because something that just from my, I guess, playing philosophy, I suppose, is whenever I can have something on the guitar that the guitar does exceedingly well, like a pull off from here, I want to use it because that's something that the guitar naturally does really well. If I was going to do, something like that, wouldn't really be that good, would it? Or that wouldn't. I don't think that would be as good. That's a little bit too floppy. That to me is much stronger and much better, especially when you're leading into the next passages.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And it is true that now that I have been practicing the scale so much, actually I realize I'm not doing almost any any pull-ups or even on Un Tiempo Fu Italica Famosa with this thing. I'm playing everything. I'm not doing this. Uh, Now I do find that it's hard to when we do the pull-ups. I find it hard to control the dynamics because it's hard to do a crescendo, right? If you start sounding, think about doing a crescendo like that. It's very hard. So for those who play these scales using the hammers and the pull-offs, I think it's actually harder to have it the direction on the scale, because when you start doing the pull-ups, you don't have the control over how strong that is. Really, the control is in that finger that is playing the pull-up. So we don't have like the violin bow where you are doing the bow and then you have the full control over how strong is that note. As soon as we start doing the pull-offs, we lose that control over the dynamic, I think. It can be done right, but it's extremely hard. I find that to be even harder than playing all the notes, because when I play all the notes, I have the control over every single note, how strong I'm gonna play.
Yeah, and there's a little trick that you can do, and it even looks silly, but you can just have your hands in the air and you can kind of sing it, and you can move your hands how you want them to go. So you go dun 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 la da 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 da, almost like you're conducting. La da 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 dun 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 dun. Because one issue that I think you've commented on is, and that when we were discussing the Chaconne fingerings, is that your brain had it, but your fingers didn't have it. So to make that connection, you kind of have to play around with your arms a little bit. So you have to be like dun 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 dun. And it's this idea of concentration too, because as human beings, we're terrible at thinking of more than one thing at once. So if you have the score and you're going through it with your mind, you have to concentrate and do it, and you have to sing it like through your head. Almost force yourself to basically play the score in your head with it in front of you, because then you can't get distracted like, oh, my cat's over there, oh, something's up on YouTube, something like that. The kind of bad thing we have with guitar is that we can be going through fingerings, and right when we're playing something we think it sounds bad and we stop, or maybe our nails are kind of bothering us, we got to fix that and then redo it and redo it and redo it. But realistically, what we want to do is have just one concentrated thought on that phrase. And I'm speaking specifically about phrasing music. I'm not really talking about technique so much. So if you feel that the phrasing is lacking in a way, that's a good way to get concentrated and to have your mind focus on just one thing, so that when you're playing, you get used to having just one thought in your head. And it would be favorable if you just, at least for me when I'm performing, I prefer to just be completely blank in the brain, just basically go on autopilot.
Autopilot, the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, in our head, the thing is, in our head we are so good. Like everything is perfect in our head. The music is just that has no barriers. So, but the problem is when we start trying to pull that off, that's when it gets complicated. So that's a very interesting approach. How about you now? What would you like to talk? Would you like to maybe show us the Chinese fingering pentatonic things you've been working on? I cannot hear. I think you're muted. I cannot hear you still. I worked on it, the Chinese scale. So I figured this fingering for the whole scale. So instead of pentatonic, I figured this. Have you ever tried doing this? Like moving the continuously like Django Reinhardt. So that's what I'm doing to overcome this because it's very hard to do this. It's too big of a stretch. Let's see. Did you fix it already or not? Let's see if I can hear you now. No, I cannot hear. Maybe something happened with your microphone, or let me see check my. I haven't changed the settings. Maybe go in and out. Maybe try going in and out. So Hernan sent me these exotic scales the other day, and I was working on them, trying to find the fingerings to make them work. They sound very interesting. This Chinese scale is fire. I really like it. So Hernan sent me a video doing these Chinese scales with pentatonic fingerings. Let's see, I'm waiting for Hernan to join back.
Reminds me of I used to play in metal bands, so pentatonic scale is
so
near and dear to my heart.
Oh, you play the electric guitar too?
Not really anymore. I used to back up until I was 17, and then it was almost entirely classical from that point on.
Show me that scale. What was like the scale you're gonna play? Show me that.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You're back. Show me that scale again, Chris.
Oh, let's see something like that. I'm just like making up stuff I used to do. Like I would create just for like extended fingerings. It's much harder to do because now my brain is reverting back to electric guitar mode where you can do longer stretches, but repeating. Stuff like that. And it's actually kind of helpful for playing classical guitar just to get your fingers warmed up. It's if you'll grant me just like a minute to kind of I guess say like why it kind of works is that when you're playing guitar, this was a point I wanted to get to that I forgot to mention. And cut me off if I'm talking too much, by the way. But when you're playing guitar, it's very similar to building a house. Now, when you're building a house, you wouldn't paint the walls first, right? That would be impossible. And if you told someone you're going to do that, they would say, "What are you talking about? That's insane." So with the guitar, if you immediately jump into trying to nail every perfection perfectly, it's not going to work. But the thing that's tempting to us is that it's possible to do. There's a chance we might be able to avoid all of this hard work, and if we just hyper focus on these little things, we might be able to just nail it. When in reality, 99% of the time, it's the equivalent of trying to paint the walls of your house before you've even laid the foundation. So that brings it back into what I like to call sketching, where I'm just if it's like 6 in the morning and my back hurts and I'm just like barely awake, I'll just start doing stuff like that. Just stuff like that so I can get into it, you know. And some stuff that I remember from playing metal guitar and whatnot, because my brain just remembers that stuff from being younger and then makes me feel like I'm at home. Because when we're performing, when we're doing pieces, actually performing, you don't want to envision yourself as kind of being at odds with the audience. You want to feel like you're in your home, and that piece is your home, because remember, the audience wants the best. They want the best for you, right? They're excited to see you. They're rooting for you. It's a really good thing. And one of my
except if you're in a competition. In that case, they might be going against you.
Yeah, but you know, that's also good too. In a way to test yourself. I always did terrible in competition, so I'm not the best person to speak on that. But two of my teachers, they gave me two very good pieces of advice, which one is that the audience is pleased to see you. They're happy to see you. So treat the stage like your home. And the other one said, the audience doesn't even care what's going on. They're just passing the time. You know, they won't even notice if you make a mistake anyways, and you're harder on yourself. And either way, you know, they don't care. So you shouldn't. It's not really important to get riled up about anything. If you've done the preparation, what you've trained your hands to do will come out.
Sounds good. Well, show me now. What are you gonna show me now?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so this is the finger patterns that I have been exploring for the Chinese scale in like in C major. The first one would be like here, starting with the F sharp, doing with fingers 1 and 2, F sharp, G, B, C, E, and then repeats F sharp, G, open string, then D with finger 3, then C, then E, F sharp, G.
It sounds amazing. I love the sound of that for 2 notes per string. That's a great exercise.
And to memorize it, it's good to transpose it. For example, in another tonality, could be in A minor, like A minor or something like that. For example, starting with the note B, 7th fret, the same, and now C, E, C, E. You can do with the pinky too. F, A, B, C.
Yeah, I love the sound of that scale. And I saw you on your video, you showed me the different, so on the same tonality, you showed me all the different patterns going down. There's one you did over here. How was that you did over here that you moved diagonally from here to
that one is very easy because it's the same pattern. You can copy the same pattern. The pattern is B, C, E, F sharp, and then repeats the same pattern, the same fingering, B, C, E, F sharp, B, C, F sharp.
Oh, it's the same notes.
Yeah.
It sounds good when you do it fluently. Can you play it fluently?
Yes.
That sounds amazing. That's like the kind of stuff you do on the electric guitar, right?
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, and another variation, the same thing is doing the same thing, but now doing like two notes, then 3 notes, and then the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
But are these notes also part of the
scale? Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
And there you can do the combination of 2-finger and 3-finger pattern scales. Yeah,
I like that one a lot. And so the chords, the harmony for this is basically C major and E minor, right?
You could do C major, or like a E minor with the F sharp.
See, because really what we have here is this C major with an F sharp.
Yeah,
just like this.
Yeah.
That's what we have.
Yeah, you can use A minor with the F sharp, the same thing. Yeah, you can use F sharp half diminished.
What are you playing on the? So are you playing the E? So just an A minor with the F sharp.
With the F sharp, yeah.
But you're not playing so you're playing G open.
No. I'm playing A minor here with F sharp in the bass.
Oh, but you're not playing on the fourth string. What are you playing?
In the fourth string, I'm not playing the first string.
Oh,
the
you're playing
fourth string.
the fourth. Oh, okay.
No, no, no.
Okay. But if you were to play the fourth string, then you would play you play all the notes, right?
Yeah, and you can use the same chord, like doing the same chord with a fancy sound, like, for example, that sounds nice.
Well, what are you playing on the fourth string?
I'm not playing the fourth.
Oh, okay,
I'm not playing the fifth string. Yeah. So you can explore that kind of sounds. So the next one would be here. The next one would be starting on G, B, C, E, F sharp. It looks like an arpeggio. Yeah, so so I'm doing there, yeah. Yeah, the hard part is here, right? That's the hard part.
So I think I would do it with I would do middle ring, middle ring, middle finger, because that's hard to do this.
Yeah.
That's too hard, I think. So I would either do this. See, the thing is, if you do with the index, then there's a big jump to go from here. There's a big jump, but if you do it with the middle finger, it's fine.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
We'll do it with the middle
true.
finger.
That's true. Yeah. The next one would be the diagonal one that we did, and the next one. And the next one would be starting on C. We are going to do C, E, F sharp, G.
Oh, let me see the beginning.
C, E, F sharp, E, B, C, E, F sharp, E, B, C, E. I think that this one is the easiest. It's the most comfortable one.
Yeah, that's. I like that one. I mean, this sounds amazing, really. And when you look at it on paper, it seems very, very simple, very short. But this pentatonic scale sounds amazing. So I would definitely practice this a lot more than just because I get tired of listening to this. But this Chinese scale is like more. I don't know. It's more interesting. Now I did work on the full scale that I was practicing the other day, and I found a way of doing it better than what I was doing on the stream. I was trying to do index, middle, pinky, and then try to figure out a way to move that middle finger, and that doesn't work well. So if you slide, see, look how we can do this scale. You can do this. See, look at this. See how I am moving the hand gradually like this. See? The whole thing, you need to find the speed in which you move the hand continuously, rather than like this, rather than doing this. You find the speed in which you move the hand like this, and then it works. Look,
So you, yeah.
it's like this. Right. See, look at this.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
See? So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you coordinate that, it's gonna be like, and people are gonna be like, how? It's gonna sound like you're cheating, because how are you moving the hand less smoothly like that and it's working? Sounds like you're editing it or something.
Like Django style.
Yeah, that's what Django used to do,
Very
because
cool.
he had 2 fingers, so you have to be. Django was a master of doing these things smoothly. The first one I saw doing that was René Izquierdo, which he was practicing this, like the chromatic scale with the this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But
for
instead
me
of
that movement is
Yeah, but
the-
instead of moving
the-
instead of moving discreetly like this,
Yeah.
it's try to find the speed in which you move smoothly. Exactly. So you don't, because you would not have time to do this when you're going fast.
Right, right.
So I think this is a way it should work. I have to practice. Because this works if you just do that.
Yeah.
See, that works. So it's gonna take a lot of practice and synchronization, but I think that can work, and it's gonna be very cool. You're looking like up and down like this. Smoothly. So I really like these exotic scales that you send me.
Yeah, yeah, and there's one missing. The last one is starting on E, F sharp, B, and then G, B, C, E, then F sharp, third string, B. Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's.
I would do this one. I would do this one with the ring finger here, ring and pinky. I would do ring, pinky. Then I would do middle ring, middle pinky.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and what else? Oh yeah, and also one cool thing to do with these scales that is very challenging is like doing patterns. Like for example,
that's when it gets cool, but really cool.
yeah. Something like that.
But how are you doing the return? You're doing a bar?
No. Oh yeah. Yeah, a bar. Yeah, I'm doing a bar. yeah, just doing that is a great exercise just to figure it out how to finger it, you know.
Yeah, but you have to. That's the hardest thing. You can no longer do the same finger. You have to
Yeah.
find a way to make it work.
Yeah, that sounds cool. And I think that you can do the same thing, like, for example, like doing a kind of fourths, something like that. Instead of, you can do something like that. And the next one would be E. Yeah. And then
You do that like thumb and middle or index on. Oh wait,
no,
that's it.
index middle. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of possibilities. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. Is that the only Chinese? So that's the Chinese scale. That's is that the scale that their whole music is based on? Because they have a bunch of instruments and a bunch of.
No, I don't think so.
No.
They also use the pentatonic scale, starting from any note, like using it like a mode with the modes of the pentatonic scale, and a lot of scales that I don't know, but this is the one that we found in the paper that I
That
sent you.
paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot, man. I really liked it. And what are you learning now? What are you working on? You showed me the Guajiras de Lucia. You're working.
Yeah.
What are you right now? Are you getting ready a concert, a recording? Like what are you doing exactly right now?
Yeah. I have a concert like in 2 months, but I'm playing in with another guitarist. We are doing a duet, and we are playing some pieces, classical pieces by Giuliani. Uh, there is one by Tedesco from the Preludes and Fugues, and we are doing 3 dances from Manuel de Falla. We are playing some stuff, but in my repertoire as a soloist, I'm playing some transcriptions from flamenco, and also in the classical guitar repertoire. I'm playing the Aquarela by Sergio Assad, but lately the thing that I have been focusing is the tremolo from Fuente y Caudal.
Did you learn it?
Yeah. I saw your video, and I copied the fingerings, and I'm still in the process, because yeah, it's true that
How hard
it's
is
so
it?
hard. No, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing that piece, and it's so hard.
It is
So
extremely hard. Like I thought it was gonna be easier, to be honest, because I thought those ornaments that he was
yeah,
doing, it was gonna be like, okay, just throwing the finger, you're just doing the tremolo
yeah,
and you throw the finger. No, you have to practice like ta ta
yeah,
ti ta ti ti ta ta. And if you look at it, he's using every single combination you can imagine.
yeah,
He's using like so it's
yes,
every single combination you can imagine, and on top of that, sometimes he's doing a pull off at the
yeah,
end or at the beginning. So it's like in that short tremolo, it's like every single thing you can do to ornament the tremolo. It's
yeah.
crazy.
It's great.
Even two
Yeah,
strings, like you changing from one string
yeah,
to the other. It is
yeah,
extremely hard. And
yeah,
what other flamenco piece? You said you're playing some flamenco repertoire. What
yeah,
flamenco piece
yeah.
that you have?
Yeah, I don't have them in memory. I just read them. I used to read them from the album, Paco Peña album. I think it's called Toques Flamencos. I got the transcriptions from the whole album, and I'm learning the whole thing.
Oh,
But I
send
don't
it
have.
to me. Send it so I can have the PDF.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So have
But
you learned any of that already?
yeah, yeah, but
Show me something. You have something.
I don't have them like in memory, but
Okay.
I can remember some fragments
What are you
of the.
learning? Like F Solea or
Yeah,
Familias?
you know, I can read it the whole thing, but the memorization is something that I do later. But right now, I think that I have memorized more the solea.
Oh,
Yeah, the
really?
solea. Yeah, so it's something like this. I'm gonna play it, or I can put the capo.
Do you have the protection on the guitar to smash it
Yeah,
to?
yeah, yeah. I have it. I have it, and so it's something like this. I couldn't remember.
I love it, man.
I
I really
improvised
like
a little
that.
bit.
I want to learn one of those soleas.
Yeah.
I learned once I learned a remate for solea. I was like, it was like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Nice. Yeah.
something like that. But you have to, have to be.
Nice.
Something like that. Yeah, I
Beautiful.
love that, man. I really like the
Beautiful.
solea stuff.
So, are you when you do the arpeggios, are you like getting into the strings like deep? Because I hear your sound, I really love that sound in the arpeggios, and I'm struggling with arpeggios. You know, with the because
I'm
sometimes
displacing. Yeah, I
my
displace
fingers.
the string. I I displace the string before playing, like with the flesh rest. I'm displacing before. So it has to, you have to buzz it like this. See, the thing is, on the classical guitar we never want to do that, but the thing is, you don't have to do that much, but you do a little bit of that to get more sound, like this. It's like you move. I don't know if you can see how well you can see can you see my hand? So I'm
Yeah.
moving the string a little bit to do that, like smash it basically. It's like smashing it a little bit. That's how I was playing the tremolo, like this. It's like, so it's instead of, so basically the difference is, instead of starting to play the string close to the nail, start to play the string farther away from the nail. So you bend the string, and then when the string releases, it goes against the nail.
Okay.
Rather than having the, so it's like this. So rather than you playing here where the nail is, and then you start the motion, that is a clean, perfect sound. But so instead of doing that, get farther away from the nail, and then you bend the string, so then when the string releases, it goes against the nail hard. Boom.
Okay.
That's how it sounds, like it's buzzing.
Yeah.
So it's not that you get more power, it's that it's kind of buzzy, like metallic, like this. Like this. It's like this.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. I am working in finding that kind of sound, you know, and
Now you like that kind of sound over the clean classical guitar sound.
well, only if that's the kind of music like
Yeah, for the
Spanish or
flamenco, yeah, for the
flamenco.
flamenco, it's definitely.
It's definitely like that because, you know, there are some people that some like for example playing Manuel de Falla, and they play it so beautiful and everything, but they never get to that sound, and I don't know, it's not like it doesn't get to the real
The climax.
heart of the music, you know.
Yes.
So it's important to know how to do that sound, you know.
Yeah, I love it. And I thought, to get that sound before, I thought you needed low action, so the string was buzzing.
Yeah.
And even if you have high action, you can make the string buzzing by displacing it. So that's so it's like Grisha stopped by on the chat one day, and I'm like, okay, I need to get into the practicing with the thumb. I don't know how to play with the thumb yet because I have
Yeah.
to figure that out. And he told me, okay, well, you displace the string and then you play with 2 points of contact. That's the
Oh.
flamenco sound. Displacing
Uh-huh.
the string and playing with 2 points of contact. That's how you get that powerful, metallic sound. Now let me ask you, Chris. You told me that okay, you're a composer. You told me you're gonna compose like a study for like a challenge for me or something. Or what's going on with that?
No, not a challenge, just an etude. Because I had an idea in my head of uh, what might sound good. And when you were playing the Tedesco, that third movement, I can't even remember how it goes now. But I was
Yeah, so
thinking,
like
how would that?
this guy's in a
Yeah,
different tuning.
yeah. I wanted to do something based on that, but have it be not exactly atonal, but I want it to be diminished in a sort of way, so it sounds demented. And it has a lot of what I want to do is have it be not intentionally awkward fingerings, but ones that will be challenging so that not only you, but whoever else decides to play it can have an exercise for the left hand, for just getting used to having awkward fingerings.
Well, let me know when you have that ready. I'll give it a
Yeah,
shot.
it might take a while. It might take a little while.
How do you compose? You use a program on the PC to write, or you just use paper and
Usually I sketch it out on paper and use a keyboard, and then I'll take, if I have a chord or a harmony that I really like, then I'll put it onto the actual program. And sometimes I'll be able to compose straight from the program with just that idea,
so it's not that you
depending what it
use the
is.
guitar and then you start finding the things or on the guitar like flamenco players would compose. You use more the knowledge and on the paper than using the guitar to.
The guitar is more like a fact check. I rarely use the guitar first. Usually I try to get a melody that I like, and once I have a melody that I like, I'll go to the keyboard, and that's when things start developing. It's not really a streamlined process. It's kind of just all over the place. But then I'll go to the guitar once I have something developing, and I'll see, well, will this work? Will this sound good? And then take it from there.
I see. I noticed you have acrylic nails because the color looks like white.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. These are acrylic nails from I don't know how well you can see them.
Yeah, I can see. Do you get them from so are those specific nails for guitar or is that something you modify to work?
No, these are actually just straight from Amazon. I used to only use my real nails, but I started, I guess, getting older. I have a fracture like right here. I don't know how it happened, but it just occurred on my third nail, and now even if I play for 15 minutes on my real nail, it just degrades completely. And then that started to happen on my middle nail like just like a couple months ago. So I got sick of worrying about it and just started using acrylic.
Yeah, sure. But I ask you because I heard Grisha say that he goes to a specific website that I forgot the name, and he
Guitar player
orders
nails,
like
yeah.
nails that are for guitarists rather than like general purpose nails for them.
Yeah, I
So
used them
Nice.
and they worked, but I just didn't notice that much of a difference.
no,
And to be honest, I wear them down within like 4 or 5 days. They lose their shape, and I can put a new one on in about 5 minutes and then not worry about it. So it's taken. I used to be obsessive about nail care, which was bad, but now I don't have to really worry about it. I don't worry about playing hard or playing fast or anything like that, or even on bass strings. I don't worry about it because I can just toss the nail off and throw a new one on.
I see. Well, is there? I mean, we got no comments from the chat. I'm surprised with that. Is
Really?
is is there any questions or comments? Anyone watching? Let's see if we have people watching this. We check. I'll do a quick check here. Um, and we have 6 people in the chat. So let me know if you have any questions, any comments before or we finish. Is there anything else you guys wanna touch on or go over, ask or talk about?
Did you want to keep going on Segovia? Because I know we were talking about that before, but we got
I mean, you
sidetracked. I don't
have
know if you had
anything else to
anything.
say? Let me know. See. I don't like to just bash Segovia, but let me know
Um,
anything else you have to say. He
I
was
guess
kind of
with
a jerk. I think that's the issue. Like, as a teacher, you see the videos out there, destroying the the kids. Oh,
I'll pose a question to you then.
okay.
If you had a chance to study with Paco, but you found out he was a huge jerk, but you had an opportunity to spend a weekend with him, would you do it?
Oh, I wouldn't care less.
Then
I
who
don't care
cares,
how it
right?
is.
That's my point regarding that. And yeah, he wasn't. I think that's overblown too, because I've heard from people who have studied with him that he was actually a very nice man, but it's like anything else, right? Gossip just ends up being in the eyes of the interpreter. So was he stern? Yes, but one thing to remember too is the pieces that he's playing, he would oftentimes live with these composers. They were composing for him, so he had direct contact with the composers. And if you look at Tedesco in particular, he wrote a ton for Segovia. So there must have been something there. He wouldn't have kept writing for Segovia. I mean, money, of course, but aside from that, he wouldn't have kept writing for him if he didn't have a respect for him in that way. And to kind of elaborate on the point of Segovia, on his teaching methods and whatnot, a lot of it was also to and regarding his scales, that's something that's what I really want to focus on. Is his focus wasn't on being able to play the scales as fast as possible, although he did consider speed a lot. It was to get you positionally aware, so that you're thinking in terms of what position am I in, rather than where can I play this as quickly as possible, because we have to do a lot of quick left-hand shifts. So in order to do something like that, and in order to figure out where your thumb is, his scales approach that directly. Like even if you're playing something like here, right? Or where? And then you get to this right here. This is like where people get tripped up. So you have to find a way to go from, and that's a very difficult thing to do, right? And what Segovia does is he uses kind of like a portamento, right? So, and you're using a lead finger. In this case, it sounds completely backwards, but you're using your first finger almost like a hinge. And I've talked to you about like using hinge bars before.
Hmm.
It's kind of like that. And you're using that strength, that energy propels you over to there. So you want to exaggerate that kind
Mm-hmm.
of portamento in order to get to where you're going. So it's two kinds of shifts, right? You have direct shifts and indirect shifts. So a direct shift would be you're moving everything, which in this case that's kind of what it is. But the one before it is an indirect shift, right? Because you'd be in what would be called like zero position in this, right? But then you're moving to first position. So your thumb really should only be going like, can you see it okay? Like, I don't know a better way to do it. You want to be using the sides of the thumb in order to make your left hand work correctly, right? But when you have to go from here, oops, I butchered it. The idea being, when you exaggerate it in practice, when you actually play it, it will not be nearly as audible. So.
Yeah, sure. Now, one thing is, we classical guitarists sometimes we try to do the impossible fingerings possible,
Mhm.
and yeah, sometimes we get close to it. But at some point, we have to recognize, okay, well, that doesn't work. Let's try to find a different way. Marco Tamayo offered a solution for that passage, which is basically um, stopping the regular pattern, which is what you're doing on the right hand, and instead just doing this. And then there's no jump. So basically, he goes from here. So it's. So the thing is that interrupts the flow of the regular arpeggios we're doing, but in that way, there's no, you know, and it's like you don't have to basically try to do a fingering that doesn't work. So I think it's just thinking outside the box. That's a very outside the box thinking, because we think about this arpeggio, as arpeggio study as the same thing on the right hand, but now you have to basically stop doing the same on the right hand to solve this passage, but it works really well. So that's the kind of things that we look at Segovia, and we can basically find a better solution. And Marco Tamayo was the one who figured that out. But I do those kind of stuff now. So after seeing Tamayo do those kind of stuff, and the Villalobos too, which I have to finger again. There's a part where I do something like I do this instead of the big jump that everyone does from this arpeggio. I do like this. I do that too. So it's basically, yeah. There's when we have to create and practice a lot, or create a special kind of thing to solve a passage. Maybe there's a different way you should try. So that's the thing with Segovia. If as Segovia, if he sees a student doing something like that, he might be like, "No, why are you doing that?" See, use my fingerings, and that's all wrong. But I did have a teacher once that was a great teacher. He was a Segovia style because of his age. So we also have to understand he's come from a different era, where he would take it maybe as a disrespect if you go to see him after studying his paper and then you're using a different fingers. It's like, why are you coming to see me if you don't respect what I am teaching? See, and that makes sense from his perspective. But and I did have a teacher like that, and I did appreciate that kind of being so hard with you have to do exactly what I tell you. If you don't, then why are you coming here? See, I'm not gonna be your teacher if you don't do exactly. But if I ever get a student that questions my recommendation and he tries to do something else, even if I'm sure that he's wrong, he's totally wrong, and that's not gonna work, I will still let him go against the wall and be like, okay, it's good that you're thinking, go for it then and try it. But then the final test is, okay, try your fingering. I'm gonna let you do it. Okay, practice it. Come back to me. Okay, let's try it. 1 out of 10. And he tries to do it, fail number 1. Okay, try again, fail number 2, fail number 3. You know what it does? Who does that to me? Rene Izquierdo. He lets me do all my crazy fingerings, and then he tells me, okay, you do whatever you want. Now let's try it. You fail 8 out of 10, that fingering doesn't work. You have to nail 10 out of 10, otherwise the fingering doesn't work. So it's not a matter of getting better at playing with bad fingerings that don't work. It's a matter of finding the solutions, because at the end of the day, there is no merit. See, that's another thing sometimes. No, but I want to do it with IM, because otherwise I'm cheating or something, There's no merit in not being able to do something you're struggling, because someone else can do it, maybe you cannot, and you have to use a different finger. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think because I don't really follow all of Segovia's fingerings, but what I look for is the intent. What is he trying to accomplish? So I ask the question, why is he doing this fingering? If it's to get a certain sound out of the guitar that's more lyrical, that sounds better, then I'll use that as really the paradigm of how I'm going to approach a certain passage. And I think it's important to contextualize also when Segovia was teaching those master classes in the 50s and 60s, that the alternatives that a lot of the students were presenting were just ways to make it easier, because they couldn't do what Segovia was doing, which would kind of make sense because he had huge hands as well. I mean, that's That's a fact. But to get back on fingerings in terms of um, teachers that want you to just adhere strictly to them, I agree with you because it doesn't make sense to just adhere to a fingering if it's not working. Because if it's not working, then you can't play the piece at all. You have to find something that works.
Yeah.
And Fernando Sor, in his method for guitar, well, I don't even know exactly what he had called it. He constantly goes back to using the starting point, or at least the overall emphasis is the starting point is PIM, is first exhaust PIM because it's naturally the strongest of your right hand. And then if that's not working, then look towards A. Because he had even admitted that he didn't really know what to do with the A finger. And to this day, we still don't really have, we've gotten better at, and I'm just saying as a whole collective of classical guitarists at using A, but it's still the strength in PIM is there. And I think that should be the way that it should be approached is looking at PIM and then trying to add from there. Because if you start on uh, all fingers and that every possibility can be there, you can really tie your mind in knots and drive yourself crazy. So if you keep it as simple as possible, then that way you can see, well, this isn't working. Now I have to actually go outside the box.
Yeah, but for example, I agree. This PIM works very easy when you do like, for example, do this kind of stuff, right? This works very well because you do like this gesture, right? But the opposite doesn't work as easy. I think if you do thumb middle index, it's a little bit harder. I find thumb ring middle being easier, so I don't think it's necessarily an issue with the A finger. I think is we have these two fingers kind of going together, so I think we just have to look at these two fingers as one gesture. So really, with A and M, we either do this gesture or the opposite. So we just have to calibrate that gesture basically. So rather than trying to be independent, like finger independence, it's not as easy with these two. So we just practice this and this, and then we work on that. So if we're gonna repeat it again, it's really like pam 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 rather than ta 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 because we cannot do that well. So it's like see that was really ta 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 rather than ta 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 ta. See, that doesn't work. So I don't think the A finger is weaker or less capable. Actually, for me, it's easier to do IA than IM. It's easier. I can play faster. So I don't feel the A finger is weaker than the M finger.
Yeah, and there's the one of the fingerings that I use is AIM. I don't know if you can see.
That looks good.
So when you're doing that, one of the reasons you're able to play better with INA is if you actually look at your fingers, they're same size, right? They're actually closer together. It's just the
Actually,
actual
look at his hands. His middle finger looks super even, right? In comparison with other people I've seen, like that middle finger is not standing out that much.
Yeah, it's
Really?
I found that it
Like,
works.
look at my finger. My finger is
Oh yeah.
longer than my middle finger seems to be longer.
Yeah, I guess if I stick them straight out there like that. But I find you get a good tone from that, and you can use it for the bass strings too. Like I was trying to work on it in Rafaga to try to get it to work, but I can't get the evenness yet. But it would be AIMI, and then A again, like that. So you get the power there, but it's getting the evenness there is difficult. So
Well, that's a triplet we are playing. Triplet, I would just do re middle index. Like
yeah.
so, I would just do re middle index.
But the pieces in two. You have to have the bum 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 bum.
So you want to do one to one to. So you want
to have the feel. Yeah, you would actually like the best fingering is probably I am. Like that. Bum 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 bum. That's what you want to feel. Dun 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 dun. It's not da 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 da.
No.
Because that wouldn't sound as good if it was
How
just
is
like
it? But
tremolo.
is it a triple or not?
Let me check how
Because
it's
if it's a
notated.
triple, I would just do re middle index. So we did get a comment from Felipe. How are you doing? I feel like the Segovia scales help with chord changes. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like practicing this, you know, might help you, get this kind of movement. But there are many ways of practicing that movement. I would never try to not use that. I do use it because I have an old fingering that I do that, but I think it's not a great fingering basically to do this. Yeah, we should. If there's a way of not having to do that, then I would just do something else.
So I just looked at it. This one switches to 6/8, but it's not marked as triplets. But the feel of the piece is in.
So the accent has to be every two notes.
Dun, 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 dun. Not necessarily the accent. It wants to be like. That's what it wants to sound like. And then
I would just do re middle index, so it's easier.
It's easier, but it doesn't have the same power. It doesn't align with the beat. That's the issue. That doesn't mean it won't sound good. It'll sound different. So it would just be two different approaches. And it's also difficult. I've seen people do it with PMI, I think. But I don't think that sounds good. Because it's difficult to... And then... So getting to that point, it's to keep it up to tempo, which it says allegro molto, so it should be pretty fast. It doesn't have to be blazingly fast.
I mean, if it has to be fast, I think you have no choice. Re middle index is gonna be the fastest.
But here's the problem: it's not written as a triplet.
No, how is it written?
Like it's written with it's written with 3/8 notes. Well, it's technically 6/8 notes and 6/8, or excuse me, in 6/8, and it's pretty much in two. It's meant to be 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. That's where the accent is supposed to be.
It's not. It's that. Like this. Like that.
You could do it that way, yeah. I would do it rest stroke though. If you do it rest stroke, you could potentially get it there. Yeah.
So if you do that, just have to focus on the finger that accent. So, for example, the first one will be ring and index. Then middle. So it's always gonna be ring, index, then middle. So if you try to play 6 doublets with 3 fingers, you have 2 different gestures. One is ring, index, accent, and the other one's gonna be middle accent. So it's, and then the next one is gonna be. So those 2 gestures. Two different gestures. It's not the same. That's why you say, well, I don't like ring middle index because it's gonna sound like a triplet. But if you do the same thing, it's not gonna sound right. You have to do 2 different things. One is ring, index, and the other one is middle. So it's ta ta ta. That's one thing, and the other is ta ta ta. So it's. that
still
will.
sounds like a triplet though. You've got it when you're
Well,
doing
because
the
I have to
tremolo, it sounds
improve
like a
it. I
triplet.
have to improve it.
Yeah.
But if you do it like this, that's not gonna sound like a triplet.
Well, that's why I thought that it was I agree with your solution to the point that you can alternate the fingers with I and A. I think just the placement for me naturally, just because my fingers probably operate differently, is A I M when if I'm doing something like that, and then switching to I M I. So dun 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 dun, and then the A is right there.
Yeah, it's like the
Yeah,
A is
hit
like to
that
take a
C.
break. Yeah, that can
Yeah,
work too.
and then you can just.
But it's gonna be harder. The easiest just gonna be alternating the middle index.
Yeah, that's that's probably the, I would say, bottleneck of that piece for me, where I'm sticking with just IM for now and just trying to improve it to the point where I can play it at a reasonable speed, and then because I have to perform it, right? So that's going to dictate what I'm going to do. However, once I do the performance and see how it goes, because if it goes well and that actually works, I can play it faster, I'll keep that. But if I listen to the recording and I say, you know what, that's not going to work, then I have time to figure it out. So that's pretty much my thought process regarding it.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's definitely harder with IM. Paco would do it with IM because he has got tier IM.
Because he can
But
do anything.
I would strongly recommend you just practice those two different gestures. One is this, and the other one is this. And that's gonna be the easiest. Two things. And then. I have to practice it, but I know it's gonna work.
Yeah, my brain can't even process it right now because I've been fiddling with this part so much.
But
Yeah.
with two fingers, it's incredible. It's so much harder. So think about it this way: to play 140 BPM with two fingers, you could do 210 BPM with three. The jump is massive. It's from 140 to 210. The jump is massive, and the thing is, everyone can do 140 BPM with two fingers. You can do a lot faster than that from what I see. So you can actually get up to speed so much easier with three fingers that it's a no-brainer. But yeah.
Yeah, there's a part in I think it's, I forget which Asensio piece where he uses the apoyendo tremolo and people do variations on it that's similar to what you're talking about, and it definitely works. It's just for developing it is a ton of hard work getting it
for sure, yeah.
to sound right. So
but it's really two gestures. So if you think about it that way, that's how I do the scales. So I've been focusing on it for a while, and I still have to work on it. But it's two things. When you do the 3 notes per string scales, if you accent every 2 notes, you have two different options. One is this, and the other one is so it's. So one ear is accentuated in ring index, and then the other one's middle. So it's. And then the other is. So basically, your challenge is you want to accent every 2 notes and play with 3 fingers. That's it. Just 2 different gestures.
That would work. That would work extremely well in Villalobos Etude 7. That's something that's the AI that I'm working with, but I think yours would probably be better for that.
It gotta be easier for sure, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be much easier.
Accent to every 2 notes.
There's something a lot of people miss in that piece, though, is the beginning starts off. It's supposed to start like that because you're coming on the offbeat. Dun 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 dun. That's what Villalobos is implying. Dun 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 dun. So you kind of do the dun dun, and then you do the run. If you look at the score, it's notated that way. So that's his intent.
So you're saying the first two notes are not 16 notes?
No, they are 16th notes, but they're coming off the end of a measure. They're on the offbeat. Dun dun dun, like dun 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 dun. You're beginning the next measure. So the emphasis should be on not the I'm forgetting what it's called. Not the lead-in measure, the upcoming measure. So let me pull it up real quick.
I thought if you do that, you were cheating. That's what I thought.
I cheat all the time. Whatever sounds good, I don't care. Let me see.
I have that on my repertoire. I haven't practiced it on stream, but I have to.
So at the end, right here, you have the phrase marking there, and it ends on the last two 16th notes. So if you're going to play in 4/4 and you're ending on that, you're usually going to end weaker. You're not going to start that as the main beat, like you're not going to start there. It's going to be I'm exaggerating it. It should be up to tempo, but so really it's that G that needs to be hammered in, and that's where you want to start that, like it's almost like a chain reaction. So you begin on this and then you fly from there. So that's the way I think it should be played.
I don't think Segovia played like that. I think he did.
yeah, he just did whatever worked. Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, do we have any comments or questions in the chat before we finish? I think we have to you see how can we get more engagement so we can have a better stream if we have some comments from the chat. I have noticed that this community is a lot harder to get engagement with. I have a gaming channel, and it makes it very, very easy to get comments. You talk about gaming, you get 1,000 comments very easy. But you talk about music, I don't know, for some reason we have a lot fewer comments and engagement. So it's hard to figure out what people are thinking, or to do maybe better videos. So I make a video sometime, and if I reach 1,000 views, I will get 3 comments. That's if on the gaming channel, if I have 1,000 views, I get 100, 200 comments. That's kind of, it's hard to, but well, we'll keep trying to figure it out. Is there? It's
kind of a niche community. It's tough. It's a smaller community.
Yeah, it's tough. So I don't know who's watching. What they're thinking. Like, if they have anything to add to the conversation. Is there anything else you wanna go through, Hernan, or comment before we finish?
Yeah, I don't know if you're interested to see the triads that comes from the Neapolitan scale.
Yeah, show me that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we do that in C, so the scale is like C, D flat, E flat, F, G, A flat, B natural, and C, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Sorry, it's right.
So let me see if I got this right. So it's from here.
Yeah. But I'm
Okay.
sticking to that position.
Okay.
I'm not doing.
We were playing the same notes. So I did this.
Yeah.
I did this.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's the same notes. So,
same notes,
but
right.
you have the a wider range of the scale. I'm playing it just in this position. I'm not getting it too far. But the triads that you can build from the scale would be these ones. The first one, C, E flat, G, like C, simple D, C minor.
Like a Chaconne thing.
Yeah. The next one would be D, F, D, E, D, D flat, F, A flat. The next one would be an augmented chord, E flat augmented. Yeah. The next one would be
Wait, let me see. What is this? So this is D flat, G,
E flat, G,
E. Yeah,
and
G
E
beat.
natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the next one would be F minor. Yeah. The next one, G with D flat. So this is like
This is like the on the Sonata Tedesco. He does this. He plays this.
yeah, a major triad with a flat 5, and the next would be this one, like simple A flat major, and the last one sounds really cool. Is this one is B natural, D flat, and F.
So let me see if I understand. So instead of searching the chords, how did you search all the triads? Basically, is my question. You have the scale. How did you search each one of these?
You go one note in the scale, and you build the triad.
Oh, a third note of the scale.
The third
so
note of the scale.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
go-
So you started
Yeah.
here, and you're like, okay, after this we have this, and then this. So we have this.
Yeah.
Okay,
And you
okay.
build the triads
Okay.
over each note of the scale, and then you can do the same thing with adding the seventh, and that sounds really cool. For example, the first one would be C minor with a major 7. Yeah, the next one would be this one, like a D flat major 7. Yeah, the next one would be this one. This is really cool. Yeah. The next one would be F minor 7. Yeah.
So basically, it's the same triads, but you're adding the seventh.
The seventh. Yeah. Then the next one would be G7. Sorry, with the D flat. So this is a dominant 7 with a flat 5. And the next one would be simple A flat major 7.
Like this. So we think this is never a chord, and it is, right?
And the last one would be B, D flat, E, F, and then A flat.
This is a tough one.
So we are building the chords in open positions that are not very comfortable, but we can arrange the same notes in the guitar to play them more comfortably. So for example, the last one, we can do the same chord. For example, we can do for example the same thing. You know, something like this. Yeah. Or here. Sorry. Like the one you did yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realized I found some of those shapes exploring, but I am glad you so basically you're giving me the proper way of exploring. Is okay, you have the scale, you
Yeah.
start from the first note, you find the triad. What's the triad? Okay, well,
What's the triad?
three notes after that, and 3 notes after that, and then you find the same adding the seventh note to the
adding the
scale.
seventh, and
Uh-huh.
you can do the same thing with quartal harmony, because this is triadic harmony, but quartal harmony you use fourths, right? And it's the same thing, and then the shapes of the chord changes. So for example, the first one would be the first one C, and then all the fourths. So it would be C, F, B natural, and E flat. And this would be the first one.
What?
C,
Call it.
yeah. The next one would be, for example,
Yeah, because the
yeah,
weird thing, now let me ask you, why do you think, see, for me, this scale, the weird thing that it has is that it doesn't have the B flat. It's what you want to have. So what makes the whole scale so obtuse is not having the B flat.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah, because the B natural is important, because in this scale, because it creates the sense of tension that needs to resolve to the tonic C. So
Yeah.
also another thing that is important to mention is that usually the term Neapolitan is used in the context of a cadence. So this same scale, Neapolitan scale, maybe we can call it like, for example, a Phrygian with a major seven.
Uh-huh.
It's like a Phrygian scale with a major seven. But the Neapolitan thing, it's more used in a cadence. So for example, in C minor, instead of playing C minor, F minor, and then the cadence, you instead of the F minor, you can use.
So what was that chord?
Yeah, it's the F, A flat, D flat. Yeah, and that's the kind
Wait,
of.
let me see. What was that chord you
Yeah,
played?
yeah. It's the same that you are using.
No, but you're playing F, I'm playing C.
Yeah, you can put the C. Yeah, you can put the C.
No, but you're not putting the C. I was.
No, I'm not. Yeah, you can put the C. You can put the B in there, but the essence is this flat two that needs this flat two that is used before the G7.
It's very Beethoven.
Yeah, very Beethoven.
But I don't
Romantic
understand.
style.
So what are you trying to explain? Because I don't understand this part. So it's a cadence. What is a cadence? What are you trying to?
Oh, I was saying that usually in music, the term Neapolitan is associated as a cadence. For me, Neapolitan scale, I didn't know that scale. I was more used to hear it as a cadence. So a cadence is
A chord
like
sequence.
a chord sequence that ends a phrase or ends the piece.
Oh.
Yeah, you use the chord sequence to end a phrase. Something to use to end a phrase. So it's called Neapolitan because
It's a way of ending, basically.
yeah, it's a way of ending cadences.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's called Neapolitan because.
So let me see that chord sequence. That chord sequence fire. So what you did there?
Yeah, so it's C minor, right? Then this is the normal cadence in C minor, F minor. Also, you can use, for example, like a D. Yeah, like a D half diminished, and then and then the G7. Yeah, and then the C minor. Yeah,
Where
so
I've heard this chord. Well,
yeah, so instead of using that cadence that is very traditional, you substitute the chord with the Neapolitan. The Neapolitan chord would be in the fourth degree, so it's called like this, and then you do.
oh, that sounds amazing. But I don't see that chord. I'm not sure about that. Can you show that chord again? That I don't see
Yeah,
it well. Okay, okay, okay. But why sounds different for me?
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, because they're doing this. So you're not playing the B flat. So we cannot play the
No.
B flat. That's why it sounded wrong to me. We cannot play
There's
the
a
B
there's a
flat on that
way.
chord.
So I'm sorry to interrupt. There's a
Go ahead.
way, Hernan, if you don't mind. I think to explain it is
Yeah,
the
please.
chord is really like the flat two. If you just think flat two, so really if you're playing in like C major, that's really what you just have to think of. When you think of Neapolitan, if you think of flat two, your mind will get there. You'll be able to find the chords around it. Is I guess
Yeah,
my brain's way of simplifying it.
yeah,
So what are you saying? That instead of playing this chord, the Napolitan is referred to just doing this for the ending?
Instead of the five, because you would normally cadence from five to one. Instead, you're cadencing from flat two to one, and variations of it.
yeah, yeah. That's another way to see it. That's true. Yeah. Uh, um, that flat two. So it goes like this, right? Like C, C, and then D flat, and then usually the major seven to resolve against to
Oh,
the
so that's what
C.
it is.
Yeah, and there you can put the major seven. The G7.
Like this?
Yeah, and also the beauty of this thing is that you can use it in major. So you're playing in C major, and then
Oh, so what you're telling me is that this is not something that you would write the whole piece around this scale, which is what I was thinking. Create a
yeah,
tremolo that is only using this. This is more
you
like an ending style.
no, yeah, you can use it in. I mean, you can use the harmony of the scale and expand it anything you want, but it's usually presented this type of sound in a cadence. For example, from music from the Romantic era, from 19, 18, and 19th century music, you can find that kind of sound. But I was saying that it's not exclusively used in minor. You can use it in major. So when you use it in major, in a major mode, it's like you are like modulating for a moment to the minor, like a C minor, in that moment. Yeah, and then you can use this type of minor, and then
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah,
So it's similar to when we play the flamenco stuff. We're just playing the regular notes. We're just playing the regular
yeah,
notes, but then sometimes we
yeah,
just do a
yeah,
variation of it. So
Yeah,
it
it's
is something
similar.
that
Yeah,
you can mix with the
that's
regular
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
But
yeah.
how?
That's right.
So then, how you do it well? That's what I don't have clear.
It's difficult,
It's difficult, right? Because it's so obtuse, right?
but you can throw it anywhere. That's the cool part of it. If you have the one chord and you just want to spice up whatever you're
Yeah,
playing, you can throw that flat two chord in there anywhere,
yeah.
but it begs to have the leading tone afterwards. So that's why it makes it kind of
So it's a
difficult.
way to go outside, basically.
Yes,
It's like
yes.
for jazz players when they are just playing in a key, but then you see that they go outside the.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But this cadence was from 18th, 19th century music from Beethoven. Beethoven used this chord, so
Oh, really?
it's not only for jazz musicians. This was used by Beethoven. You know.
How's it going, Sombrero? We have Sombrero in the chat. I think the Neapolitan could be considered a subdominant chord
Yeah,
substitution that goes to a dominant seven and to the tonic from a harmonic function perspective.
yeah. That's what
So
we were
Sombrero
talking
is
about.
he's doing the the flamenco transcription stuff. Like he
Yeah.
knows all that stuff. I don't know any of that, man. Maybe I'm gonna start learning some with these streams. You can teach me some. Felipe said I've been meaning to get through McFadden's fretboard harmony book for years. Do you know any other good guitar music theory books? Well, I don't know because I've never read any of it. But I did share a folder that has Ricardo Allen's favorite books, so you can maybe find some good stuff there. But I don't know what do you think about that?
Just music theory or
Like he's asking
associated with
for
guitar?
what do you think about fretboard harmony book?
Mm.
Oh, Emilio Pujol, all four of his volumes is very good. He has a ton of exercises in there, and they all relate to learning the fretboard. And he has, for probably his best study is this one here, where you have to play the entire bar, and then you have to switch here. But it's meant to be played cleanly all the way up the fretboard, so you're on arpeggiated and holding the entire bar. So that's which is very difficult to do. So it
Yeah,
helps to build up
very
endurance and it helps you learn
tiresome.
the entire, yeah, helps build up knowledge of the fretboard.
You know what I want to learn at some point? The chords that gypsy jazz use. Do you know those chords? Do you know some of that harmony? The Django
They
gypsy jazz stuff?
they use a lot of like in minor they use a lot of minor six with the nine, you know, with but it's not. I think that to study harmony, it's very important to try to connect it to the style of music that you want to learn, because everything is connected. It's not like you are learning chords, isolated chords, and that's it. You have to learn also the tunes, the melodies, the techniques, and everything is connected. So, for example, this harmony usually is ornamented like, and this comes from the fact that Django just used these two fingers, right?
Yeah.
So he was very, you know. So
Yeah, I love the gypsy jazz, the background that they create for improvisation, all that stuff. I love that.
yeah,
I'm more interested in learning the chords than to learn the melodies that they do.
yeah, but everything is connected, because if you learn the chords just without any idea of the melodies, um, it's going to feel it's going to be harder, because then you have to learn a lot of chords, but what's the connection and what's the function of those chords, you know? So it's important to for example, if you want to learn fretboard harmony, to try to learn a lot of styles of music, and then you're gonna start to make sense of everything you see. So every style has its language, you know, and
So,
its rules.
so Felipe is asking, guitar school, a theoretical practical method for the guitar. Is this the one? I don't know if you're asking me. If you're asking me, I have no idea because I have not checked those books at all. So that might be on the folder if that's what you're referring to, but I haven't. So what I do know is that that folder I share, that Ricardo Ian gave it to me. So that's a selection of the things that he recommends. So if that book was in there, it's definitely a good one. But I don't
What
know because
book? Which book is it?
so he's saying guitar school, a theoretical practical method for the guitar.
I haven't heard that one. But if you're interested in learning like jazz harmony and things like that, yeah, there's a lot of books, and it doesn't matter really which one.
No, he's
But
asking if that's the Puyol that Chris just
okay,
recommended.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, sorry, that's it. It's in 4 volumes.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, and also for example, if you're interested in um, like Django Reinhardt, because it's very unique style of music, you know, and you have to also learn like other types of jazz from that era. For example, of course, the blues, of course, the rhythm and changes, and you know, the swing style, and then you can connect that information with how Django played.
Yeah, they
Because
when they do the
yeah,
melodies, they are very heavily accentuated every 2 notes. They're like
mm,
all that. It's always like
yes,
because they
mm,
are playing with a pick, and then the downstroke sounds louder, so they are like
mm, yeah,
sounds pretty cool.
yeah,
There's one other book that just came to mind. It's the Berkeley Jazz Guitar Chord Dictionary by Rick Peckham. It's excellent. It has pretty much every chord you would ever need to know with their inversions laid out, and Berkeley published it. It's very good.
Yeah, the thing is, I once tried to read one of those chord things, and there are some many chords that we don't kind of play in the guitar. Chords that have more than 6 notes, for example. And so I like to you know to see it, the things that work, right? Because if it's not guitaristic for me, it's not useful because I don't play the piano. So if I'm gonna learn the jazz stuff, I'm gonna go and check out a video with someone is sharing the chords of of that. Basically a guitaristic way of playing the chords. Like they use the middle finger, sometimes use the thumb
yeah,
during the top and do all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, his book has a few of those things because it's specified for jazz guitarists,
Oh,
but you can still utilize it. It's been pretty
yeah.
helpful for me.
sounds good. Well, I think we're gonna leave it there. We don't want to make this too long and for people later to watch. Do we have anything else to to talk about or share before we finish?
No, I'm good.
No,
Okay.
yeah, I'm good.
Well,
Thanks,
I'm
thanks,
going
Joe.
to say thank you very much, Chris, for stopping by, and Hernan. Um, I am very. I feel honored to have you here, man, because you guys are professionals and you've been doing this for a very long time. I feel like I'm just getting started. So if what I have shared in any way have been useful for you or for your students, I feel great that's the case. And I hope to see you again one of these days. Thank you very much, and thank you everyone for stopping by. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. This video will stay public, so drop a comment. We need more engagement too, so we know. Okay, was this good? Was it informative? What would you like to see different, or so we can get these better. So thank you very much, Chris and Hernan. You guys
Thank
take
you.
care, and I'll see you one of these days. We'll keep trying to do these streams, and yeah, I really like them. So I'm going to end the stream now, and